James the Lesser, we don't know how to do any polls with anything yet. Like, I'm looking to do polls with Nightbot and stuff, and I think it would still work here on YouTube, like we were trying to get it to work on Twitch.
Here we go.
About last day or two, I really strongly think at this point, we've got to skip Dragon's Dogma 2 for now. Like, I'll probably maybe play it later. How on earth am I going to be playing, like, 4 RPGs at once? It doesn't work. There needs to be more variety of games coming out. So, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe we'll skip Dragon's Dogma 2 this month because it's just too much RPGs at this point. Maybe we'll play it later. But anyway, there was a lot of discussion about that, a little bit of game. Dragon's Dogma is what everyone wants and what you want to play. Isn't that an RPG? You should play Rise of the Ronin. Listen, I'm going to say it again. I'm okay with playing either game. Personally, I am more interested in Dragon's Dogma. I am. I think that Dragon's Dogma is, as a game, I played the original, right? And I loved the original. And I would love to play the sequel. But I can't play it when I'm playing other RPGs. So, if we wrap up the other RPGs, then we can play Dragon's Dogma 2. That's the point I'm making. Dragon's Dogma 2, because you guys and gals requested it. Remember, originally a few weeks ago, I said I was set on playing Rise of the Ronin. Okay? I said I want to play Rise of the Ronin. And everyone was like, well, you can play Rise of the Ronin, but we feel that Dragon's Dogma 2 is going to be a better choice. Dragon's Dogma 2 looks like it might be a Game of the Year contender. Dragon's Dogma 2 is just going to get better, you know, more people. It's going to get more viewership, and you should definitely play Dragon's Dogma 2. Hold, because I wanted to play Dragon's Dogma 2, and by the way, there's another game coming out in a week that I want to play, and there's just no way I could play them all. Between two RPGs, I'd rather play Dragon's Dogma 2 than Final Fantasy VII Rebirth right now. But I might go back to Final Fantasy VII in the future. Dragon's Dogma 2 twice a week and balance it with a million other games no one's asking for. I think it makes sense, right? Did respond, said play Dragon's Dogma 2. There are still some people who want to see Rise of the Ronin, but for the most part, people are like, yeah, I think Dragon's Dogma is going to be the bigger game. I'm more interested in that. And the thing is, being that it's going to be an RPG where you make your own pawn team and you can play it a little bit differently than others, I think that that playthrough will be more interesting to watch as opposed to Rise of the Ronin. You know, a lot of people might be playing Dragon's Dogma 2 and say, all right, well, I'm curious how this person's going to handle that. You know, kind of like Elden Ring, where a lot of people wanted to see in the early game, well, how did that person build their character? How did that person tackle those challenges early on, as opposed to my playthrough? I think people will want to see that with Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm going to play Dragon's Dogma 2 on Friday, and then it goes on hold. Dragon's Dogma 2 as a full-time, daytime game, much like I'm doing now with Baldur's Gate 3. You guys convinced me to play Dragon's Dogma 2 right now, but I hope Rise of the Ronin is good. It's a possibility I may play it. I may still play it.